Hey there, Nissan Rogue owners. If your 2014 to 2019 Nissan Rogue has been serenading you with a squeaky suspension, I've got you covered. This isn't a recall issue. It's a known non-safety problem that Nissan has addressed with the technical service bulletin. So what's causing that annoying creak? Let's break it down. The squeak you're hearing is usually a high-pitched, rubbery, or creaky noise that comes from the front suspension area. Most owners describe it as a repetitive ee or creak sound, especially when going over speed bumps, potholes, or uneven pavement. Sometimes it's a single loud squeak when the suspension compresses, and other times it's a series of smaller squeaks as the car bounces. The noise is often more noticeable in cold weather, when rubber and plastic parts stiffen up, making the squeak even louder and more persistent. Some owners say it's almost silent in the summer, but returns with a vengeance as soon as temperatures drop. You might notice the squeak most when turning into driveways, going over speed bumps, or even just driving on rough city streets. It can happen every time the suspension moves up and down, so if you're in a bumpy area, it might seem like it's squeaking constantly. Some drivers even report hearing it when getting in or out of the car as the suspension settles. Now, here's the good news. While the sound can be annoying and even embarrassing, it doesn't mean your Rogue is unsafe or falling apart. The culprit is the bound bumper in your front suspension, a small rubber part that cushions the suspension travel. Over time, or in certain weather, it can start to rub or stick, causing that telltale squeak. Some owners worry it's a sign of a bigger problem, like a failing strut or broken spring, but in most cases, it's just the bumper making noise. It doesn't usually affect how your Rogue drives or handles, but it can make the ride feel less refined and more distracting, especially if you're sensitive to noises. Another common misconception is that lubricating the suspension will fix the squeak. Unfortunately, that's not the case here. The only real solution is to replace the bound bumper with the updated part recommended by Nissan. So if you're hearing a squeak that matches this description, don't panic. It's a well-documented issue, and there's a straightforward fix. According to the TSB NTB18-083, the solution is straightforward. First, confirm the issue. Check out the flow charts in the bulletin for guidance. Then, replace the bound bumper on the squeaky side. Follow the electronic service manual for proper removal and installation of the front coil spring and strut. And remember, no lubricants here. It won't help. Now let's talk about coverage for this repair. Whether Nissan will cover the squeaky suspension fix under warranty or the TSB depends on a few factors. If your Rogue is still under the original factory warranty or an extended warranty, the repair is often covered at no cost to you. However, coverage can vary by dealership and region, and some owners have reported that they needed to specifically request the TSB repair or show the bulletin to their service advisor. If your vehicle is out of warranty, you may have to pay for the repair yourself. But it's always worth asking your dealer if they can make an exception or offer goodwill assistance, especially if the issue is well documented. So, be sure to check your warranty status and talk to your dealership about the TSB before scheduling the repair. Make sure to replace any one-time use nuts and adjust your front wheel alignment back to factory specs. Now let's talk about what Rogue owners are saying online. On Reddit, you'll find dozens of posts from drivers frustrated by the squeak, especially in colder climates. One user shared that the noise was so loud in winter, passengers would ask if something was broken. Many Redditors confirmed that replacing the front suspension bump stops, as outlined in the TSB, fixed the issue for them. Some even posted before and after videos to prove it. Over on Rogue forums, members have swapped stories about their dealership experiences. Some reported that their local dealer fixed the squeak under warranty, while others had to push for the TSB repair. A few users suggested checking for worn strut mounts or loose sway bar links, but the consensus is that the bumper replacement is the real solution. There are also unique tips out there, like one owner who temporarily silenced the squeak by wrapping the bumper in Teflon tape, though most agree this is just a short-term fix. Another user mentioned that after the repair, their Rogue felt smoother and quieter than ever. While it's mainly an annoyance, following this TSB usually solves the problem, especially if the right steps are taken. So if you're tired of the noise, it's time to get that bumper replaced. Before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. I'd love to hear about your Rogue adventures, your own squeak stories, or any questions you might have. Thanks for watching, and happy driving.